Stay informed about the latest developments in cryptocurrency, politics, technology, and beyond with News Source Crawlers edition covering the period from August 18, 2025 to August 25, 2025.
Rubio states that U.S.-Pakistan relations are not detrimental to India. Trump endorses a ceasefire deal between Thailand and Cambodia in Malaysia. Trump discloses his direct role in Israel's pager attack on Hezbollah.
SCMP previously noted, peace-loving Japan to relax weapons export regulations due to escalating security concerns. 10 days ago it was reported that Japan is considering exporting destroyers to Southeast Asia despite facing legal challenges. The Philippines is negotiating to purchase additional South Korean fighter jets, according to the aircraft manufacturer. East Timor has become a member of ASEAN, marking the bloc's first expansion since the 1990s.
In the Nexperia crisis, a Sino-Dutch conflict over the chipmaker threatens the car industry's supply chain, with Nexperia's parent company Wingtech citing cash flow risk despite a 280% increase in quarterly profit. Previously, Bosch also warned of production risks due to the Nexperia dispute affecting auto suppliers. Meanwhile, Samsung and SK Hynix are reportedly raising memory prices by up to 30%, with long-term supply agreements being considered.
OpenAI has asked for a list of attendees at a memorial in a lawsuit related to a suicide involving ChatGPT. An Amazon Web Services (AWS) outage led to $2,000 smart beds overheating and becoming stuck in an upright position. A student in the United States was handcuffed after an artificial intelligence system mistakenly identified a bag of chips as a firearm. Trump grants pardon to former Binance CEO following guilty plea for allowing cybercrime funds to pass through the platform. Trump nominates crypto regulator Mike Selig as the new chair of the CFTC. The creators of Melania Trump's meme coin face allegations of pump and dump fraud in a lawsuit. Mosquitoes have been discovered in Iceland for the first time due to the warming climate, and the UN chief states that surpassing the 1.5°C climate target is inevitable. Additionally, the accused fentanyl kingpin, sought by both the US and Mexico, has been apprehended in Cuba several months after fleeing house arrest.
Hackers infiltrated FIA data, obtaining Max Verstappen's passport. The Myanmar military closed a significant cybercrime hub, arresting over 2,000 individuals, while SpaceX deactivated 2,500 Starlink terminals reportedly utilized by Asian scam operations. In the U.S., an NBA coach and players face charges related to gambling schemes, with an NBA head coach and player among 31 individuals apprehended in an extensive FBI sports betting investigation involving sports betting and mafia-connected poker activities. The fraud is mind-boggling.
Exxon files a lawsuit against California regarding climate disclosure regulations. A report indicates that American electronic waste is creating a hidden tsunami in Southeast Asia. British Columbia announces a permanent prohibition on new cryptocurrency mining projects connected to the grid.
The United States increases the use of facial recognition technology at its borders to monitor non-citizens. A British journalist is detained by ICE following criticism of Israel during a tour in the United States. The U.S. government shuts down a website that reports on human rights violations committed by foreign forces armed with U.S. weapons.
Trump considers government oversight of quantum computing companies through agreements similar to those with Intel. Russia deploys sonar technology allegedly taken from the West to protect its nuclear submarines from NATO, having obtained Western technology to safeguard its nuclear submarine fleet. According to the Wall Street Journal, Trump advocates for the development of new Navy warship classes.
Apollo claims AI energy disparity will remain unresolved in our lifetime. Worldwide coal consumption reached an unprecedented peak in 2024. EA collaborates with Stability AI to accelerate 3D game design and content production.
During the COVID pandemic, inefficient IT systems resulted in a financial loss of at least $40 billion for the United States, according to a study. Air traffic controller shortages led to the suspension of flights at Los Angeles International Airport. HSBC plans to allocate $1.1 billion for possible settlements in lawsuits related to the Madoff fraud.
U.S.-China discussions outline potential agreements on rare earths and a tariff pause for consideration by Trump and Xi, with Besant stating that a framework has been reached in tariff negotiations. Rolling Stone notes Scott Bessent's comments expressing empathy for soybean farmers, despite his $500 million wealth, while Axios reports Besant, a farm owner, stating, "I have felt this pain too regarding the soybean crisis." Lula expresses optimism about a U.S.-Brazil trade deal following a meeting with Trump in Malaysia. The United States imposes sanctions on the Colombian president due to accusations of not preventing cartel activities. Meanwhile, Trump is reportedly considering targeting cocaine production sites within Venezuela and has stated he will not seek approval for strikes against cartels. Venezuela criticizes what it calls a military provocation by the CIA in Trinidad and Tobago. Additionally, the U.S. has deployed an aircraft carrier to Latin America, marking a significant escalation. The Wall Street Journal reports that the U.S. has sent B-1 bombers near Venezuela, increasing military pressure. 5 days ago, the U.S. conducted strikes on 2 more suspected drug vessels on the Pacific side, resulting in the deaths of 5 individuals.
RFK Jr. to encourage Americans to consume more saturated fats, causing concern among health professionals. As claims Trump has a strategy to substitute Obamacare but provides no details. In the U.S., the average expense for a family health insurance plan is now almost $27,000. Trump asserts he has the ultimate authority over compensating himself, $230 million for previous investigations.
The Financial Times reports that the sanctions imposed by Trump on Russian oil have impacted the imports of India and China, following the U.S. sanctions targeting Russia's Rosneft and Lukoil. Meanwhile, Putin acknowledges that the U.S. sanctions are serious, but insists they will not deter Russia from continuing the war. Additionally, Russia has conducted a test of a new missile capable of carrying nuclear weapons, as confirmed by Putin and a top general. The NATO chief supports Trump's decision to withhold Tomahawks, while Finland urges Trump to allow Zelensky to use Tomahawks against Russia. Axios reports that Zelensky is urging Trump to complement the Russia sanctions with missile support.
Trump has stated that he has no intention of naming the White House ballroom after himself, with reports indicating that there are 37 donors contributing to the $300 million construction project, including prominent Silicon Valley technology companies, cryptocurrency enthusiasts, and the Lutnick family. California Governor Gavin Newsom is contemplating a run for the U.S. presidency in 2028, as he has expressed his intention to consider such a candidacy following the midterm elections. Vice President Kamala Harris has indicated the possibility of running for president once more, telling the BBC, "I am not done," suggesting her potential interest in seeking the presidency again. The Kurdish rebel organization PKK has announced its decision to relocate its fighters from Turkey to Iraq. According to the foreign minister, Israel will not permit Turkish armed forces to enter Gaza. Vance expressed feeling insulted by the Knesset's vote regarding West Bank annexation, while Trump warned that Israel might face a loss of U.S. support if it proceeds with annexing the West Bank.
Cameroon opposition leaders detained amid protests following election outcomes. In Ivory Coast, vote counting is underway for the presidential election, with predictions that the 83-year-old incumbent will secure a fourth term. In Venezuela, President Maduro introduces an app for citizens to report all observations and claims that the U.S. is inventing a conflict and aims to strip his opponent of citizenship.
A comprehensive study reveals that AI assistants inaccurately represent news content 45% of the time, irrespective of language or region. David Solomon, CEO of Goldman Sachs, asserts that AI will not eliminate human jobs, stating, "Yes, job functions will change, but I'm excited about it." Javier Milei of Argentina pledges further reforms following a remarkable victory in the midterm elections, securing a mandate for a free market revolution in Argentina.